All right, Matt, thanks for taking the time to speak with us again today. When we last spoke, it was the end of the season, about to lift the trophy. Let's start there. What was it like to finally get your hands on that trophy and to achieve the goal of promotion, winning the title in the first year back?
Yeah, it was nice to get it done early, that's for sure. It meant all the plans that we were putting into place to go back into the Super League we could start to execute. But no, listen, it was a great feeling. It was a great feeling. We worked incredibly hard, for that moment, right the way across the board, all the staff, all the players. But yeah, no, it was a great feeling, and the fact that we could do it at home and we could plan it, whereas the last two times that we had won the league title was on the last day, and there's no planning around it, But no, we were delighted. It was great to celebrate it, as I said, at Prenton Park with our fans.
And how long did that feeling last for, and how quickly did it start to begin? Right, looking ahead, new season, new challenge, WSL.
Yeah, well, listen, we went out after that game as staff and players, and then we had another game after that against Lewis away. But no, the minute it was we had won the league title, we started to put plans into place, because we won it, I think, 3 weeks before we lifted it, because there was an international break straight after the Bristol City game. So we started to put the plans in place then and put, the wheels in motion, I guess is the word, of all the planning we've been doing probably for the last 6 months.
And some of the new signings that you've brought in are quite exciting additions. How pleasing has it been to get, people with international pedigree played in the biggest leagues?
Yeah, no, that was really important. I think the biggest learning curves, we looked at Leicester, we looked at Aston Villa when they transitioned from the Championship to the WSL. And Russ Fraser, our managing director, was at Leicester City as well. So there was many lessons learnt there. But we worked hard on the recruitment. We had numerous people that we were looking at, and then we narrowed it down. And we've got all our top targets really in the positions that we were looking at filling. So we were really pleased with that. But I think with the players coming in, everyone that we've brought in knows the WSL. Shanice played here before, has been away at Lyon and Wolfsburg, two of the biggest clubs in Europe. So her experience of the WSL before and playing for two big teams like that will help the group this year. And then Gilly and Emma know the league from Brighton and West Ham, and I've worked with Gilly before. So we're really pleased with everyone that we've brought in so far, and they're just going to add more depth and competition to the group that we've already got.
And obviously it's quite an exciting time for women's football in general. The Euros, how much have you been paying attention to the Euros, watching it, observing it, going to games?
Yeah, I've watched every game. It's great that I've been able to do that. It's been a fantastic tournament. I think the final, England and Germany have definitely been the two best teams throughout the tournament. I think the England players have definitely inspired the next generation. And I just think, the WSL last year, going to the last game of the season, how exciting it was again. It's just going to go from strength to strength. So we're looking forward to being back in that league and testing ourselves against the best players and best coaches in the world.
And obviously the players are watching that as well, and they're seeing the attendances and the sort of media attention that it's now getting. And I spoke to some of the girls, and they're saying, obviously that's exciting, and they're hoping that translates now into the WSL. Is that something that you, on a personal level and as a team, hope that we see attendances as a result?
I think you will. I definitely think you will. I think also the women's game is affordable for families to come to the games, and I think that's something, that I think every club will definitely play on. If you look at the men's game now, for families to go, it's and the cost of living, it's getting quite expensive. So I think from that perspective, that would be great. But the product's there. The players are getting fitter, they're getting stronger every year, and I think looking at the tournament, the Euros this year, it's been the most competitive, probably, tournament in women's football ever.
And obviously we've got a big announcement coming up soon about Anfield here will be hosting the Merseyside derby at the end of September. How exciting is that for you as a manager to be able to lead the team out in the Merseyside derby? We had 28,000 last time that they played here, and obviously the hope has got to be that we beat that.
Yeah, no, it's obviously it's going to be a fantastic occasion for myself and for the players and the staff. Obviously, that's the first game that we look for when the fixtures come out. Not having the Merseyside derby last year, I was hoping that we'd have it in the Continental Cup, but we never got it. But no, it's always the first fixture you look at, and to be able to play at Anfield, and knowing that there was 28,000 here before, and how far the game and probably our team's come since then as well, it would be exciting to see, how many we get here.
And if there was somebody out there that's not been to a women's game before and they're kind of on the edge whether they should go, what would be your message to them?
Come, because the product's fantastic on the pitch. The players will run through a brick wall for the badge. The honesty of the players, not just our players, but just in general the game. I've seen it over the summer with the Euros, and obviously last year with our fan base. The amount of dads and daughters that come into the game, and being a dad myself, it's fantastic to see, and everyone enjoys the game. So, they won't be disappointed.
Just finally, last year we spoke about the aim was obviously to get promoted, and we achieved that in the first season back. Have you set any goals for the team this season, or individual goals as well?
The individual goals, no, not yet. We've only been back in sort of this our third week, so that will come later on in pre-season. We want to be as competitive as we can. The transition from the Championship to the Super League is a big jump, and I think, as I said, we learnt from Leicester and Aston Villa's experience over the last 2 seasons of that happening. I think we're in a good place with the players that we've brought in and the squad that we've got to be competitive, but I think we all need to be realistic enough to know that it's going to be, we might not have as much as the ball as we did last year, but I for sure think we've got a team that can compete with anyone, and on our day we can beat anyone. It's just about how we prepare and making sure that we are competitive throughout the season. But the goal is to do as well as we can.
Speaking about maybe not having as much of the ball there, does that mean the style of the team will have to evolve or change? Obviously, I think when we spoke in May, you spoke as an example with Carl Humphrey, who their style of play might be more suited to the WSL rather than the Championship.
Yeah, I think I didn't really need to focus too much defensively last year. We focused a lot on the counter press. We focused a lot on the second phase in defending, because 9 times out of 10 we were playing against teams that had 9 or 10 bodies behind the ball. So we could always recycle it. We could always pick up, loose clearances or clearances because they had everyone behind the ball. This year we've got to be a little bit more tactically astute, I guess, defensively in blocks, and we've analysed the WSL. We presented that to the players as well, where the majority of goals come from, and that's been our focus point so far pre-season. But yeah, we'd need to focus a little bit more defensively to make sure that we're a little bit harder to beat. Because I think if you look at the Arsenal game, the first goal we switched off and got punished, and then beyond that it was quite a competitive game. But yeah, no, we need to be a little bit more, I guess, resolute without the ball this year. But the great thing for me last year is because we had so much of the ball, we worked on so many different things. It's just about keeping that going.